Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a bit bitty. Basically I've been, well, firstly apologies for the delay in posting. You know, it's been a horrible summer. I've had some camera issues, it's rained non-stop for 2 months. I thought about building an ark at one point. Yeah, so I've been doing little bits as and when I can. So you'll see loads of little film segments, some on my phone, some not, etc. I can only apologise for that. So yeah, at the moment I've finished the walk pipe work, but I haven't fully tightened all the clamps, etc. You'll see a segment shortly where I've been making new stainless pipes up, etc. But today is a little bit of finishing off. So I needed some radiator brackets, which I've sourced. I needed various bits and bobs. So hopefully today, I've also done a bit of tidying up with some of the components on the engine before I fully bolt them in place, because obviously I want it to look nice as well as be right. So today I'm going to be putting the front of the engine back on. I'm going to finish the power steering pressure pipe, which I've got to extend, and I'm going to put the radiator in place, bolt all the clamps up, hopefully fill it with coolant today, and yeah, I've also painted up some spare rocker covers. I might fit them, I might not in this video, I don't know. I'm going to have a look at the access in the engine bay, just because I've got another plan. I also want to do the valley gasket while I'm here, and I've still got to paint the plenum because I want it, I want it to look nice. So yeah, I'll probably bring you back in a moment showing you making some pipes, etc. But in real time I'm actually going to start fiddling with the engine and putting some nice shiny parts on it, hopefully. So yeah, apologies for it being a bit bitty. Like I said, camera broke, weather's been horrendous, life, work, etc, etc. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with putting some engine bits on the bay, in the bay. I probably won't film much of it because it's just bolting stuff on. You can have a look at it in a workshop manual. Maybe we'll see what comes of it. So anyway, I'm going to push on because we are due rain this afternoon. So yeah, I need to get some stuff done. So I'll bring you back shortly. So this is something I've just been messing around with. That's the Defender standard V8 radiator, and this is the cooling pack off an S14 Nissan Silvia. So I had a look at the dimensions, I thought I could probably make that work. So what I'm going to do, this was 60 quid, and as it is, the fans on their own are 60 quid. So I thought, well, I'm not losing anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably straighten these two brackets at the bottom, bend these two at the top the opposite way, and I'm going to use these two supports that are already there to rest that in. That will push this up. I'm just going to trim this corner nicely. I'm going to see if I can use that to locate on there, but I'm not doing any of that just yet. Just wanted to show you whilst it's nice and easy to film. Apologies about the voice, people, it's bloody awful. So I've just bent those straight, and that's acting like a bit of a friction fit, which is great, giving it a bit of spring. Perfect. So I'm just going to clear into this section now, and that pop back. I don't want to push it any further over this side because I've got to get a hose on that. So I've just marked out for a little bit of clearance, and then I'm going to try and bend these tabs straight. Whether I make a bracket or what, I'm not sure, but I'll come up with something. But yeah, 60 quid, what a bargain. So I've had these brackets bent up at a standard angles, made out of 2mm thick steel. A friend of mine at work did them, and he did my ECU cover. So shout out to Mark, thank you very much. Right, I'm going to have a play with these quickly, because the intention is I'm going to mount those fans today and leave this area alone. But yeah, I'm so sorry for the voice, people. Well, that's the brackets just knocked up. Just put some roof nuts in the inner wings,
the side, not great. Don't worry about that contact there, because that's coming off. Space over here, but not much. Also need to dress that in properly. Now I've got some black cable ties. So next job, oh, and I've also fitted the power steering pipes. So next job is radiator and cooling pack. So one of the issues I've had is these genuine Land Rover pipes that just chucked in here for now. I did a stupid thing, followed a forum, didn't check it out myself, and these are the pipes to go from here to the heater matrix over there, but they're actually left-hand drive ones. So as you can see, that there connects onto there, and that would be great if the heater matrix is over there, but it's not. So I've got to make some. So I bought a pipe bender, I bought some stainless tube. I'm just waiting for a die to turn up that wasn't in stock. So yeah, I have done the bottom hose connections. I don't know whether you can just see that. This is just in there loosely for now. So I've mocked up the bottom hose connections. That's actually a 300 TDI hose, the one that comes in sections. So what I've done is chopped it around a little bit. That now connects to this black pipe here, which comes out there, goes to the heater matrix. It connects into this T-piece here, which has got to go to the bottom of the water expansion tank, and the other side goes to the bottom of the radiator. All nicely done. So that's all ready to be connected up, but now I need to get from there across to there. So the plan is, once the air filter is properly mounted, you can see I had a bit of a stab at a bracket there, but I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to have another crack at that. So the plan is to bend some stainless pipes that go up over these pipes here. That should be down there like that. Up and over, underneath, and then up in the corner. So, but that's not going to be this video. This video, I need to have a look at what I can do with this for a start, and the air filter itself. So this is the P38 bracket. This has put me back quite a while. I was doing some research on the 40th edition, 50th edition Land Rover 4 litre, and basically it has a different bracketry system here. But not only does that bit different, which is what the bit I've been trying to source, but basically everything here is different, including the crank location. So again, I followed a reply off a forum. Stupid thing to do, people don't seem to know what I'm on about. So yeah, what I've had to do to try and keep this nice pipe here, I've channeled the back of this bracket so it clears there and down there. So what I now need to do, obviously with this pipe in place, the alternator no longer fits, so I've got to make a standoff bracket to just lift it up slightly, which won't be a problem. I just need to do that. So that's the first job today, and then once that's complete, I'm going to have a crack at making a better support system for that air filter that will act as some pipe supports as well. So yeah, I'll have a little crack at that now, and I'll bring you back. So at the moment, what I've just done is I've just knocked up these two little standoff brackets using this very crudely mounted vise and this small press brake, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, job done. Now I need to just bolt it in and drill the last hole. And there we go, stood off. That now clears that pipe at the back. It also clears the pipe at the front. Yeah, clearance all round. And once that gets bolted in, that'll be fine. Obviously, excuse the bolts, because obviously with the brackets on, the bolts, original bolts were much thicker, but you get the idea. So proof of concept, it does work and it will work. So that'll be the alternator done. I am going to mount the air conditioning off this at some point. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but yeah, that'll be in future. I just need to get this thing back on the road because it's run out of MOT. So anyway, next job will be trying to have a look at some brackets to mount the air filter. Well, that's my little bracket in. It ain't pretty, but it does what it needs to. It locates on all the bolts. But excuse that, it's not actually bolted in properly, but they do line up because there's some ones in there now. Anyway, so yeah, I have to ignore this. This is not going to be the case when it comes to it. That's going to have a 90 on it, and then it's got to come underneath here and back up to the throttle body. But I've got some stainless pipe work on that on order for that. But yeah, so I need to work out what I'm going to do with these, but I'm probably going to route them either at the back or one either side. But we'll see. It's a work in progress. This is the JD Model 3 bender, basically, and that will bend this 20mm stainless with absolute ease. So this is basically what people use for building roll cages, etc. So I've got plans for this in the future to make some rock sliders, etc. So quick brief demo, and then you'll see the issue that I had. Obviously now you're on a stand, you can see, you know, everything there, basically as to where we're at. So this is also the reason the video has been delayed, because I wasn't paying £1,000 for one of these with some dies. This comes with, or you buy separately, obviously the bender itself stands as an engine stand, and then this comes with a former and a guide, basically, and I'll show you how to load those in quickly. They've got basically hole sizes, you'll see in a second. There's much better videos than this, but I just wanted to show you. So pull the top pin. Let's not have that fall off. Pull the top pin out. Slot your die in. That goes into the middle pin. You can see now what that's naturally trying to do. This isn't really a good surface to be doing this on. This should be nice and level, but this has got some play in it. Anyway, so you slot your die in there, and your guide has basically, it'll say top on it, what it should do if it's a JD squared one, and it'll tell you what holes it is. This is slightly wrong. Anyway, so that will go into the hole just there, and then what you do then is you load your bar stock in, clamp it here in this clamp just there, and then you bring your ratchet round and pull, and as that pulls forward it pushes this further round. Actually, there's a drive pin missing, so drive pin goes there, and as that pulls forward you're basically pushing this further away like that, and that forces the bend on the tube. I'll show you quickly. So I'm just gonna have to reposition this because my tube's going to hit the Land Rover. So grab your tube. On the end there is a little collar and a nut. You push your tube through, slice, put your locking pin in like that. I'm going to do this right on the end of there, so you'll be able to see what my issue was previously. So basically I've just pulled the tube through right to the end of this keeper plate, and then I'll just wind that in, nip it slightly, and you'll see it drags that in square then, and then I'll ratchet that round and it'll pull it in. So I'm just going to nip this up. I'll put you back over there and you can actually see me pull a bend on it. I'm going to do a 90. This is not a tutorial, this is just me showing you what I've been up to. So just nip that slightly. We're in drive pin 1. Now what I need to do
is pull that round, reset. Can you even see me? Yep. I'll put you there. There we go. So I've just pulled that round. Then what you need to do is put a little bit of tension on, and then here there is a gauge that tells you what angle you're at. So I want to pull a 90, so that will travel all the way around till it gets to there, which is 90 degrees. So once you've done that, pull it back, put your next one in, try not to be in the way of this. It's much easier when you stand from this side, but I'm conscious I'll have my back to the camera. There you go. Round. This isn't as nice tube as the other stuff. I've got it from a slightly different supplier, and I can see it's actually stretching slightly. But budget cuts. So this is the easiest way to do it, like this. You basically put that and just pull that round. So that's on the last one, and that's at 63 degrees. So now what I have to do, relax it, pull this drive pin from the die, set my arm round to position 2, pop that back in, and then this will then reset and drive round further. I'm on 63 there. 70. $76. $84. Right, this is going to be the terminal one, so I need to be around here this time. Right, that's at 90, but if you notice when I release the tension, it's sprung back a little bit, and that's just off now. So I'm going to do it to 92. Right, tension's off, and then all you do to release is undo this little nut there, that'll let you pull your pin. There you go, and then I'll let you pull your pin here, and your 90 is formed. As you can see, perfect 90 and no crushing of the tube. There's a little bit of stretching there, it's slightly lesser grade than the one I've used previously, but it was it was 2/3 of the price, so it was worth the gamble. But you'll see now, I put that in as tight as I could get it on the guide, on the clamp. But you can see I've got at least, what, 3 inches, 3.5 inches there before the actual bend starts. Where the bend starts, you'll see there's a slight indent there. That's where the bend starts, and that's 76mm from there to the inside of this. Anyhow, right, that gave me what I needed to know anyway. So now I know how much the leading is and when I can put a bend in. So, right, I'm going to crack on. Thought I'd just bring you back. I've chopped the end of that other one off, and I thought, well, before I lose this pipe, and the weather looks a bit naff, I thought before I get the welder out, I'll make up another pipe. So this is between the bottom hose and the header tank. So I've just done another 90 bend quickly, and I measured out, I marked it, I eyed it up where I wanted the outlet. So this bend's basically got a point from, if I'm side on, driver's side wheel, it's got a point towards, across the front cross member slightly. It's got to come along the chassis rail, and then it's got to point up. So you have to think about that where you're pulling your bends. So I've only eyed it up, it doesn't need to be perfect, it's going to be connected with rubber hoses either end. But basically I've set that up at 90. I've eyed up where my bend needs to start, radiused it back, marked the bend start position, and I've lined it up with a tutorial on YouTube. Basically it's the centre lines across these pins is where the bend starts. So I've just pulled this round. I'll finish the last one there, or I'm just about to finish this last stroke here. So this should leave it at about 63 degrees. Yes, it has. So then I'll reset that, push this round to position 2 like you saw earlier, because it can't get the full stroke 90, that's just dropped in, and then I shall carry on bending round. So slack's just coming off that now at 63. So it's really difficult to film this, I do apologise. Right. That's just gone up to 69. The next one will take it round to about 73. Sorry, 76. About 84 I think this one was. Yeah, 84. And then it'll be this one, basically sets it round. So there was a bit of spring back on the last one, so I'm going to take this round to about 93 there. And what I mean by spring back is now that that tension's popped off there, that's actually saying 85. 85, so I'm actually going to have to put that bit more on. Right, so that tension's back on at 86. So I've just took that back off. Tension's now off at 90. It's not quite there. Probably need another degree or so. There we go. Right. So that's it. I'll position you over there and I'll show you this roughly in position so you can see what I've been on about. This pipe here is going to tie up with that one there. I don't know if you can just see it in shot, just there. That is going to tie from there to the bottom of this header tank, which is just sort of in line with me about there. So there we go.
that's about right there, and about right there. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's obviously going to be deeper end down into the engine bay. I've got to cut these off to length, but the main reason for ordering this extra tube this week was so I could get this pipe working as well. So I'll cut this back probably about there, and probably around about here. Mark it up. So that'll be our cut-off lines, and then I'll make a bead on these with a new tool I've got to show you. Well, unfortunately I've run out a bit of time today. I only had 3 hours. I wasted about an hour changing the weld over to stainless because it's slightly thicker wire than it's meant to have, so that took a bit more setting. But I've done pretty much 1 3/4 pipes, so that's from the expansion tank to the lower radiator hose. Just needs bevels putting on the end, which I'll show you. And then this is the pipe that I showed you earlier. So it's not pretty, but it don't need to be. It's an engine bay. So I welded that 90 on. Had a bit of an issue with the welder playing up, but I managed to sort it. Yeah, so this was arcing back. But yeah, so that's dealt with. Joined all that up. It's not the prettiest. And then I've shortened it in the height as well. That's really not pretty, but that one's underneath the air filter, so you don't see it anyway. So there we go. It's getting there. This end's got to have a bend put on, facing upwards, and then it'll just come off the heater matrix straight onto that. Again, I've run out of time. And the other one needs shortening here, shortening there, because obviously the bends, I showed you that earlier. A bevel and a couple of 90s on the other one, and that'll be the pipe work done. So big job, never done this before. You know, I'm learning, trying to push myself to learn new skills. So anyway, there we go. It's going to be better than a hose draped across the engine. So there we go. I just thought I'd show you this quickly. So I'm just on the power steering now. I've started to put the belt system on the front. I need to reroute the power steering. So what I've done is I looked it up, and apparently the Defender 40th runs the same part number as a Puma. Anyway, put it on, completely doesn't fit, but that's because I'm using a P38 pump on a Defender box, so you've got to get custom with it. So what I've done is I've taken standard set of pipe cutters. These ones have got mashed up just, but still, so get some spare wheels if you're going to do that. Taken some pipe cutters, and I have cut the Land Rover tube down. This is actually a piece of stainless, 8mm. So the pipes on the steel part are 8mm. Now the Land Rover pipes are actually like a very soft steel, whereas this is stainless. This is the one that's screwing my cutter. So it's up to you what you do it in. But the plan is, basically, I've cut the flexible section off. That's on the P38 hose, and I've cut the straight section where it normally runs underneath the cross member, along the cross member. So I've cut it there, and that's where this piece is going to, this piece here is going to join. And how I'm going to join it, I'm not going to weld it because these things were under immense pressure. I've got these hydraulic, I did this when I did the OM606 conversion, but these are hydraulic compression fitting. So I'm going to have one there and one there, and that's basically going to push the line of the flexi hose back here. So there's a little bend on the flexi hose that's already got the compression fitting on. That's going to bend up the inside of the pulley drives, so it should be out the way of everything. And then this on the other side is
You're going to join onto the flat section, and then all you do is just tighten them like a compression nut. You know, it's I think it's two 14mm spanners. No, 14 and something like a 17 by the looks of it. Yeah, 14 and a 17. I use an adjustable because I like a bit more oomph on them. But yeah, I won't show you doing that because that's got to be done in the car. But what I'll do is I'll bring you around shortly and show you quickly. You have to excuse the background noise, unfortunately. One of my neighbours is playing loud music. So I've just took that nicely out of the way. That's nice and firm. You can just see the one joint at the bottom that then sets down and joins up to the rest of the pipe, and then that from there is factory Land Rover. So I just need to get a bracket on the bottom. Job done. Morning. Welcome back. It's been about a week since I last filmed, week and a half maybe, and we've got some progress. So I've fully piped up the water system now. So I cut down a 300 TDI hose for the bottom hose, and yeah, I've taken it for a little test drive. This obviously needs a bracket making up. I've got a cover for this for the ECU. I was going to go somewhere here, hopefully. I've still got to make the air intake properly. That was just a quick job so I could actually test drive it. I'll just test drive it up the road quickly. I didn't film it because it was a bit of the spur of the moment thing. But yeah, alternator's in. I had to order a special belt. That belt is 7PK1935 for anyone doing the conversion. It's I've got the power steering pump in, so that's a P38 power steering pump with a custom hose that you saw me make last time. And yeah, so I've just got to bolt the air filter in place properly, finish off the air intake and make a bracket for the ECU cover. But what I'm doing today, when I had the front of the engine off last week, I noticed that there's a leak from the valley gasket. So on eBay this week there was, or a couple of weeks ago, there was a ported manifold for this engine. So I thought rather than clean this one up, I'll buy that one. So I'm probably going to strip this down because I need a new tensioner and new alternator because the bearings are shot in these ones, but it was okay for a test. So I'm going to change those over, but while it's stripped down, I'm probably going to put the new inlet manifold on and paint the put the painted rocker covers on, and hopefully it'll have no leaks. So that's probably what I'm going to get on with today, just a bit of tarting up and sorting out a leak and making it look a bit more presentable. I have got some elbows for the air intake and some stainless pipework that my friend Martin gave me. Thanks, Mart. And yeah, so probably won't get onto that today. I've got to relocate the intake temperature sensor. It's just sitting there for now, and I've got some fresh spark plugs to put in just to basically do a bit of polishing up, finishing off before I can start properly test driving it. So I'm going to crack on and get the new manifold cleaned up because it's a bit oily, and yeah, start taking this apart and put the new the second-hand good genuine Land Rover alternator and tensioner back on. So backwards to go forwards again, but still, once it's back together, it'll look a lot nicer in here, and that's good. But just wanted to show you a bit of progress. So the engine's fully piped, and yeah, it's coming on well. I don't know if I'm very happy with that pipe at the back, but for now it will do. This bulkhead is being changed. I'm actually going to put a Puma bulkhead in this, so the heater matrix won't actually be there in the future. It will be somewhere at the back, just there. So it'll do for temporary. I'm not going to bother trying to get perfection. It's not going to last long enough. So anyway, right, I'll start getting a few bits stripped off and get this inlet manifold cleaned down. Well, I've stripped the engine down now.
I just thought I'd show you what the inside of a 16,000 mile engine should look like. That is lovely. Lovely and clean, nice oil colour. Same with the heads. It's got the rocker gear. Same on that side. A little tiny bit of crud got in where I've knocked the gasket as I pulled it. But that is superb. So I'm gonna put the new rocker cover gasket, valley gasket on and build it back up. So I'll bring you back a bit later. There we go. It's running the sweep tonight. Excuse my bleeding device. Yeah. Fans are cooking when you need to. New airflow meter sorted out the starting problem. Yeah. And that's my Chinese ship connectors. Now have a temp gauge that works, and that's not moved in 10 minutes. And I've got warm heaters. So there's the finished rocker covers. You can see all the pipe work's finished. It's all been bled back up. Air intake's a little bit more permanent, but not fully. I am going to get rid of that cone and potentially connect to the snorkel eventually. I have got this to do, so I still need a bracket on this. I'm just going to come off one of these set bolts there and bolt that up so it sits about there, so it's not in not on any of the belts or pipes. And that's it really. So yeah, it's come out a lot better now. It's got the shinier rocker covers in. I do need to do a spanner check, but that'll be once I've done it. So I'll probably do a film of the first drive, mainly to wrap things up, and mainly possibly doing that and one little bit I've got to do on the inside. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Morning, guys. Apologies for the sun in my eyes. I've just been editing the last video that I've been working on, part 6 I think it is, and I've got to apologise. It's not the greatest. This has been probably filmed over 4 months, 5 months maybe, as and when I can do bits and bobs, and basically there's a few bits missing. I've lost some footage by the looks of it in the time that I've been doing it. I wanted to put a section in on the stainless pipes that when I was doing the beading on the edge, but yeah, I thought I'd filmed it. I clearly haven't, but anyway, or I have, and then it's gone. So I just thought I'd put this section in just as a bit of a wrap up basically, so just to show you what the sort of engine looks like now after having finished off basically, because you haven't seen any of the updated painted rocker covers and stuff. Again, I've just realised I hadn't filmed it, so I'll film a quick bit of that now. But I just wanted to say, listen, sorry again for the delay. You know, it's obviously been an awful summer, and I've been extremely busy with work. So, but no, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'm not sure how much more I'll do on this. I mean, yesterday I spent the day bleeding up the cooling system, which you'll see. I'll put a quick, well, you've seen it by now, because I'm just about to film the engine bay, and you'll see a little video of it running up to temperature as well. I have had a few problems post finishing off the majority of filming. One was a Chinese air filter that was just causing rough startup. One was a coil pack that was faulty, but I replaced that with a genuine brand new one. And there was a couple of little bits I wasn't quite happy with, so that the fans weren't kicking in, and the temperature gauge wasn't working. But I've sorted that. One was an iffy connection, and one was an earth that was missing from the fans, which I've missed. It's on my wiring diagram, but I missed it. So anyway, I'll quickly film the engine bay now, and I'll pop this section in first before I sign off. But anyway, listen, thanks guys for watching. Really appreciate all the support so far, and yeah, hopefully it'll be in a position to start getting back out on the road soon. Thanks for watching.